What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode of Super Gamers World, and my name is Robbie Key. I'm making this first video because I kind of want to just introduce myself a little bit, and so you can get to know me, so you know who it is you're viewing exactly. So yeah, I thought I would start off with that. Okay, for starters, my name is Robert Key. I generally don't like to go by Robbie because that just sounds weird. The only reason I use it in the main title is because it just sounds better when you read it. Super Gamers World with Robbie Key. Yes, I'm weird. And generally, like if you ever met me in person, I usually like to go by Rob. And I'm about 20 years old. And I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I lived there literally my entire life. I've never ever had to move once. And right now, I'm going to Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches, Texas. Also, I want to add that I am in my junior year. I kind of fell behind in the classes I'm supposed to take, but I'm about to get to that now. See, when I originally started off as a freshman here at SFA, I originally wanted to be a computer science major because I had heard that when I was going to high school at the time that computer science is something really good to have if you wanted to be a video game designer. But as I unfortunately discovered, computer science is just way over my head, and I couldn't understand any of it. Like, coding is much harder than you think, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. So now, instead of being a computer science major, I am now a journalist major because I really want to become a video game journalist. Particularly, I want to be an editor for IGN one day because it's a site that I love. I mean, I look at it literally every day. All the editors seem really cool. I mean, obviously they know their video games, and yeah, I've been following them literally for the past 4 to 5 years, ever since they came out with that Zelda April Fool's trailer. And just this almost a year from now, coming up in a couple months, I have been on my IGN where I started off writing blogs and stuff, so I could enhance my writing skills a little bit to help out when I finally start doing, news reporting classes, which is actually what I'm in right now. Now, with that being said, obviously I love video games. Now, the first game I ever played was Super Mario 64 on the original Nintendo 64, not the DS version, and I played it when I was just 4 years old. My first shooter that I ever played was GoldenEye, also on the original N64. Now, why did I mention those two particular games? Well, they're not only some of the first games I ever played, but they also come from the two genres that I play the most, which are shooters. I mean, third person, first person, doesn't matter. I really like shooters. And then I play platformers. I really love Mario and just, stuff like Super Meat Boy, like the kind that really just pisses you off overall. Like, I like challenging platformers like that. Now, the two genres I play the least amount are real-time strategies and MMOs. And it's not because I don't like them, it's just that I've never really had an opportunity to play them. I mean, I know RTSs are primarily PC games, and I've never really had a PC that can play games at a high caliber. And then MMOs, I know they're starting to become free to play. Like, a lot of MMOs are adopting that model, but I've just never gotten into them because they also used to originally be, you had to pay a certain amount of money per month, and I didn't want to do that for games. So, but I'm definitely going to try them one day. Now, before you start thinking, what is this guy's favorite game? Honestly, I can never, ever decide anything like that. Because I've played so many games over the years that I've literally played hundreds of games that I could just never decide. When it comes to top or your favorite anything, I have never been able to quickly decide stuff like that. So pretty much don't ever ask me that. While I can't tell you my favorite game of all time, one thing I can definitely tell you is that one of my most influential games as a gamer was Metal Gear Solid 3 for the PlayStation 2. I could go into detail about that game for hours on why I think it's so great and influential on me. But overall, it delivered one of the most unique experiences I've faced in life, whether it's in games or not. That game is just very special to me. Now on to non-gamer related things. Now, if I could pick 8 individual words to describe myself best, they would be honest, because that's really my number one policy, I guess, if you will, is that I just want people to be honest with me, and I'm going to be honest to people. Funny. No, I mean literally the word is funny. That is a word I would use to describe myself. Friendly. Where's that word? Forgetful. Weird. Shy. You've probably been able to tell from this video, I am honestly, as I'm shooting this even now, I'm pretty damn nervous. So, yeah. Dorky, because I love corny jokes, and I don't know why. Very, very nerdy. Like, whenever I hear just about anything, I can't help but think of a video game reference of some kind. If there was one talent I would say I've always had, it would be doing voice impersonations of a bunch of different people. I would love to do some for you guys right now, but I'm honestly just too nervous and shy right now. And I figured, in the future I'll get more comfortable with, filming myself doing vlogs, so I will definitely be doing videos like that in the future. I've honestly never really been into sports that much. Yeah, helps with the stereotypical gamer, right? And I don't know why, like, I can't get into them no matter what I do. I mean, I have genuinely tried with friends, but no matter what, I just cannot get into sports. In general, I've never really been that great in playing them either, but I will say the two that I've probably been best at were running and swimming. As far as movies go, I've watched so many movies over the years that, like games, there is no way I could probably ever name my favorite. Even in just individual genres, I could probably never name my favorite. But I'll name a few here just for examples that I like. Now, these aren't my all-time favorites. These are just ones that I kind of thought of off the top of my head. Stardust, which in my opinion is a severely underrated movie. Scott Pilgrim, The Artist, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the Toy Story trilogy, both the Expendables movies, The Warriors, Stand By Me, Inglourious Bastards, Monty Python, The Holy Grail, of course. I mean, how can you not like that? And the original Halloween from 1979 with Jamie Lee Curtis. That's one of the scariest movies of all time, in my opinion. As with TV shows, I actually do watch a pretty good bit of TV. There's still a lot that I need to see. Like, I still haven't even started Breaking Bad. And basically just any, except for Walking Dead, basically just any show that's been on AMC, like Mad Men and The Killing, I think is that other one, but I can't think of it right now. But what I mainly like to watch is I usually try and catch Conan every night on TBS. Most of what's on at Nick at Night, but The Nanny annoys the ever-living hell out of me. I really cannot watch that show. Community has probably become one of my all-time favorite shows now. There's an episode where I don't laugh at least 2 or 3 things, hardly. So, and it's just hilarious. Family Guy's older episodes, pretty much anything from before Lois kills Stewie, is just, their stuff is hilarious from that point down. Malcolm in the Middle, I'm probably one of the few people left on this earth that sees Bryan Cranston as Hal instead of Walt from Breaking Bad. Home Improvement. The first season of Heroes, I haven't watched anything beyond the first season yet. That's something I still need to get to. And then Futurama. I actually enjoy their new stuff. I think they're doing a really great job ever since it got revived on Comedy Central. With the exception of Adventure Time, I don't really watch Cartoon Network anymore. I mean, that was pretty much my life when I was a kid. But, back during its golden age, as I like to call it, I used to watch Ed, Edd and Eddy, Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, I'll admit I watched that. Looney Tunes, and that's really all I can think of right now that I used to watch back in those days. I've watched several animes. I haven't really seen a whole lot, but I mean, that's starting to change now that Toonami's back on Cartoon Network. I mean, they're starting to show a lot of shows that I never even heard of before. So that's going to get me really motivated, because I also used to watch Toonami back in the day, so woo-hoo. And some of my favorite animes are Yu Yu Hakusho. Now that's one thing I can definitely say is my favorite, is Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime. Naruto Shippuden, though I'm a little bit behind on that. Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Case Closed. When it comes to music, I just like rock in general. Like I like anything like hard rock, alternative, heavy metal, screamo. Just basically anything with a hard electric guitar sound. I do not like country or rap. I won't get into it, but I don't like rap because the lyrics are just horrible. Pretty much, that's the main sum of why I don't like rap. As far as dubstep goes, I don't really like it, but I don't really hate it either. And I mean, it has a good sound, but it all sounds the same to me. The wah, 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 wah. And to name just some of the artists that I like are, there's Demon Hunter, there's Skillet, there's Epica, Metallica, Michael Jackson, who was the first artist I ever really listened to, Rise Against, Rage Against the Machine, Cake, Linkin Park, but pretty much anything before Minutes to Midnight, because I'm pretty disappointed that they've changed their sound over the years, because they used to have such a unique sound to them. Disturbed, and I'll admit I like Adele. Her music, it's just kind of that old-fashioned feeling, and it seems like she's one of the few popular artists nowadays that has natural talent. Like, she can truly sing. If you've ever seen her perform live, I've seen a couple of her videos, and it's just mind-blowing how much talent she has with singing. And that brings us to the end of my first video. I thought I would do a question blog where I would basically have you guys, comment in the comment section, and if you had just any questions about me, I would be happy to answer them. And of course, feel free to subscribe to me on YouTube. And I also have a Twitter account, which I will post in a link right below. I'm never going to say, subscribe to me! But instead, I'm going to say, feel free to subscribe to me, because, I don't want to force anyone to subscribe to me. I mean, if they like my videos and they want to subscribe, then that's fine. And if they want to follow me on Twitter, then that's fine. But yeah, I don't want anyone to feel like they're obligated to follow me. But I will always say, I am thankful for literally any subscriber or follower that I get. I mean, truly, it means a lot to me. Just even one follower, one subscription is like, it just gives me a good feeling. So, like I said, feel free to subscribe. Actually, there is one last thing I just want to say before I officially end this video. Audrey Drake of IGN, I saw on one of your Aminka's World blogs that you said that you wanted to start doing vlogging and that you were too shy to do it. Well, I was pretty much the same way. Like, I'm honestly still nervous, even as I'm nearing the end of this video. But I hope I give you, maybe some kind of motivation to, start vlogging. Because, I mean, you're Audrey Drake. You've hosted the Daily Fix twice now. And I think that takes balls. So, I think you have the ability to start vlogging, especially if I do. So, get out there and vlog, Audrey. Until next time, this has been Super Gamers World with Robbie Key. And thanks for watching, and be sure to look out for my future YouTube videos if you're ever bored one day. Thanks.